Hello, welcome back to a very hot Lincolnshire. It's Tuesday morning after the bank holiday and it has been scorcher-roony, hasn't it? I don't know if it's been like that where you are, but whew, and today feels just as warm. It's about 9:30 and I've already taken my parcels and been to Aldi. Whew. I don't recommend going to Aldi on a Tuesday after a bank holiday weekend. But it's done, hooray! And I'm home in my garden, where I love to be. So if you're new around here, my name is Kirsten. I buy and sell vintage antiques, collectibles, secondhand, anything I think I can sell online, on eBay, on my website or in antique centres. And I do the bare minimum. Just enough to get by so that I can spend as much time as possible in the garden with my husband and the dogs. And I must admit that work has been on the back foot. Is that the right word? Back burner, maybe. I have been doing a crazy amount of gardening the last few days. But yesterday, I worked in the morning and then Bob and Court, my son and his girlfriend, came over at lunchtime. I'd made a curry, it was really nice. It was mixed bean and sweet potato. Court's a vegan, so no meat involved, but it was really nice. And then sat out in the garden, and then Bob helped me with my sort of technical issues. He's very good with computers and things, so we had a long list of things to help us with, so he went through quite a bit of that in the afternoon. So I didn't actually do any gardening beyond watering yesterday, but I've got a horrible feeling that I am getting a cold. Darren my son and my daughter both came down obviously for the funeral, and they both had colds, and then Darren got it really badly and I thought I'd got away with it, but I've got a sore throat, so I've got this horrible feeling that I am coming down with it, although I don't actually feel too ill. It's just this horrible sore throat, so I'm just going to drink lots of liquids and not go too crazy. I don't really have plans for today. I just kind of like wanted to get the Aldi thing out of the way and then see where the day takes me. So let's see. So one of my issues, my technical issues, that someone's helping me with, is how I do my vlogs. Is I film on my phone and then I transfer them to my iPad. I edit them via iMovie and then upload them. But my iPad just keeps saying that it's full and it can't save videos, and I've deleted everything off there that I can delete, and it's just the working systems as they do updates. They just keep making the systems bigger and bigger just to outdate your phones and your iPads, so that you have to buy new ones, I think. So I think I'm gonna have to invest in a proper camera and some sort of editing software on the PC. So I could have done without the expense. May mean that I'll have to put in some extra hours at work to try and earn some money. But yeah, maybe it'll have to be done. So you'll notice on the last video that I had no music on the outro because I had to delete as much as I could off my phone, and it included the music. So again, this video will have no music, but hey, you could make do with the sound of the birds and maybe the odd bark of a dog. If you haven't seen it, Darren got a video out he did it yesterday and I uploaded it this morning, so today's Tuesday. So this video that I'm filming now will be out on Thursday, Friday, so it'll be out already. It's just like a garden tour, and I watched it this morning and I thoroughly enjoyed looking at my own garden. I think the sort of style that we're going for is kind of like a little bit wild around the edges. We like that we leave some wild things to grow. I like that I have poppies popping up everywhere and lavender in the slate, and we've even got like nettles growing through over here, but I've left them because they're really good for wildlife. And then these logs all around the woodland area encourage the insects and stuff, so we're kind of going for a natural look but with plenty of colour. That's my aim anyway. Darren's opened, like, from the kitchen there's like a side patio door, and he's opened up the side patio door, and Jenny just keeps coming out the side patio door, walking round to the back door and back in again, and then walking out the side patio door and walking round and coming back in again. She is she's a little bit elderly, and I think she's starting to show signs of a little bit of dementia, because some of the things she does is quite funny. Oh, and last night, so we went into the lounge and it was really warm still. We're trying to shut curtains and that to stop like too much heat getting in, because of the conservatory off the lounge gets so hot. It was 45 degrees in there the other day. The lounge gets really warm. Anyway, Jenny's sort of lies on this big cushion, and she decided that she was going to flop off, but she sort of half flopped off, so half her body was off and half of it was on, and she looked funny. Meanwhile, Benji wrapped himself up in Darren had put the blanket on the floor for him to lie on, and he wrapped himself up inside it. He must have been so hot. He's not the cleverest dog. Meanwhile, Eddie is not liking it at all. He's really struggling in this heat. Oh, there you go, Jenny goes again. She's just gone round again. I planted up my remaining salvias into pots because I want to be able to bring them in the winter so that I don't lose them. So I've put individuals in these, and then I've put 3 different ones in this one, and we'll just see how they go. All these foxgloves are coming out. I love, if you look up close, the detail on them is amazing. So I've got these pink ones here, and then over here, I think these are the apricot ones that I did from seed. And then at the back you can see those are sort of white with a deep purple. Let me see if I can zoom in. Just stunning, absolutely gorgeous. You know what, I spend hours just walking around admiring the flowers because I absolutely love them. Yesterday I did a shorter reel with close-up photos of all the flowers because I want to remember them. Sometimes I go back and look at my ones from last year to remind myself, because it just brings me so much joy. Roses started flowering. This one smells beautiful, so nice. Look how many buds are on it. It's covered in them, absolutely covered in them. Just had a quick look in my greenhouse. I still have some plants that need to go out, so I might do that, but not right now, it's too hot. And look, the weather forecast, today's Tuesday, tomorrow is supposed to go down to 15 degrees, which is hard to believe when it is roasting today. It's been so hot that tomorrow is only going to be 15 degrees. That will feel like a shock. I need a drink. That's what I need now. Some squash. Cheers. Court went to the auction to pick up, because we only got one lot, and it was some unframed prints, and so Court and Bob live in Louth, so they picked up this lot for us, and I've not had a look through, but there looks like some nice ones. So I think the plan is to put these on eBay and see how we go, because sending an unframed print is going to be a lot easier than sending a framed print with all the glass and everything. So what does that say? Another Lenten sacrifice. Golf, like a golfing one, that one. Golden memories. I wonder why Mr. Popstein serves with 3 balls. Old associations, I suppose. I don't know, is that supposed to be a joke? It's like a tennis one. That one. Then this one with horses, sporting intelligence. Fishing one. Oh, so they're all like sporting related so far. There's this one. The girls looking out to sea. Latest improvement. Don't know what you can see. There we go. That one. Another sporty one, well, billiards or snooker or whatever. Does that count as a sport? I don't know. And then a horse hunting one. I'm not a big fan of hunting, but the colours on that are really nice. Ooh, ladies who lunch maybe. And then this one. Finally, this one. So we'll see what we can do with those. As I say, I think we'll probably put those on eBay. Pop them on there. I've pulled out a few bits to show you that are going on my website. Oh, I picked this up on Sunday and I forgot to show you it because I'd put it up on the desk so the dogs wouldn't get it. And I'm going to put this one on my website. It looks handmade. It's so gorgeous. Look, little bees on the feet. And then on the dress, look, covered in little bee print. And she's got this knitted shawl. Little blue rabbit made out of sort of felt and cloth. As I say, I think it's a handmade one. But how cute is that? So that's going on. I've got a couple of these talkie wear bits. Now I got this from somebody who watches my videos, but she wants to remain anonymous. So what should we call her? Should we give her a name? Marjorie. You can let me know next time I see you if you like the name Marjorie. Yeah, talkie wear. Pretty little pinched vase. You can see how it's been pinched and in the making. Little bud vase. They're all handcrafted down talkie wear. It has got like some scuffs and that, but it's under the glaze. It's not on top of the glaze. And then it's got this beautiful, what are we thinking? Chrysanthemum, maybe? Anyway, pretty little bud vase, the blue one. And then a little chamber stick. And on there, this is called motto wear, and it has the writing on it. Good night and joy be with you. That says on there. So that's quite sweet. So I've got those two. A tin. I love old tins. This one's a Thorns toffee tin with the dogs playing with the train set. How gorgeous are the graphics on that? Beautiful. It's like a slimmer one. This bright red. As always, I don't recommend that you store food in old tins. They are more for display. I mean, they'd be fine for buttons or stickers or that kind of thing, but I wouldn't recommend any kind of food. But look, how gorgeous is that? I love that. This is a bit random, I say, as I have a whole room full of random things. But it's a little hand-carved wooden duck with a sort of Chinese hat. So I'm thinking like a Peking duck. But how cool is that? It's just the detail on it I find fascinating. I love the little way that the tail turns up just there. Just a very sweet little thing. And can you see the eyebrows? Yeah. Random, but still really cute. I've got a bit of Guernsey pottery. This one, a little cylindrical vase. Unfortunately, it does have a little chip in the glaze. Here, can you see there? You don't see it so much when you look at it like that, but when you look at it from up here, you do. But it's fine still for use, so I've put that one on fairly cheap on my website if anybody's interested. I'll leave it on there for a week or two, and then I'll take it off if nobody wants it. But it feels a shame for it not still to be used just for that tiny little chip. So that's that. I've got a couple of books. I've got this one, The Vicar of Wakefield. It's not a story I've heard of, but I was drawn to this gold design on the front and the pattern there. It has got some colour plates in it, like this. And so it's The Vicar of Wakefield by Oliver Goldsmith with 24 illustrations in colour by Margaret Jameson. So this. Now there is a bit of spotting and discoloration on the pages. I think there's no date. There's no date on this book, but from a bit of research, I think it's from like maybe the 1910, something like that. So yeah, pretty little book. Nice, if you can see detail on the spine as well. So that's the first book. And then the second book is a Folio Society one. It's The Secret Garden. So it's got the cardboard sleeve, and then that is the cover, Secret Garden. And you can see it's in good condition. Did look date, I think it was 2008 this is from. So not that old. It's got this lovely colour plate at the front, but then there aren't any more colour plate. In fact, I don't think there's any other illustrations. No. Oh no, there is. There was one there. I just spotted one. Can't find. Oh yes, another colour one. But there's not many illustrations in there. Just a few. So yeah, that one in the sleeve. A nice collector's book, if you're interested. And again, lovely spine. Is that one? Couldn't resist this. She's a little plastic doll, but look at her face. Those rosy cheeks and little red lips, and the little curls. Excuse the state of my nails, that's from gardening. Little curls here either side of her head, and then the little ankle socks. Just the detail. She's jointed. She's plastic. I don't know where she's from. To me, she looks German, maybe. The reason I say that is because it reminds me of like the Hummel figures that you get, the same sort of style. And I've just noticed, can you see the detail of her little fingers? Can you see that? I don't know if you can make that out. Maybe not. But yeah, just so sweet. I couldn't resist. And I thought, well, I will try and sell her, but if she doesn't sell, I'm not going to be sad about it. At some point, I want to get a shelf for all my little things. She will go along there. If I still own her, she will go on my shelf of little things. And then I got, this again is something that I really like. And I don't know what it is. So he's like a Chinese fella. And then he's got this box in front of him. So maybe he's a trinket dish. Maybe he's a ashtray, but I don't think he's an ashtray. I saw something a bit similar described as a planter, but it's not big enough really, is it? But again, I just love it. And I reckon you could put something useful in there. I could put my little thank you cards in there, store them for me to take one out each time I use them. Yeah, business cards, whatever. Anyway, really, really sweet. Love that. And then I've got a few clothy things. Right, so I've got a tea towel. This one, Home Sweet Home. I love the colours on that. So bright and cheerful. Reds and yellows. I thought kind of Scandi looking, but actually on the label it says made in Turkey. Made in Turkey, 100% cotton. But I've got one a bit similar to that says Home Sweet Home that I use in my like downstairs loo as a hand towel. And I just think things like that brighten up your day, don't they? Just instead of just boring grey or brown or blue or whatever tea towels, have some brightly coloured ones. And then I have a set of 4 napkins. They're Port Merion Botanic Garden ones. They're 4 different ones, so I will hold them up 1 at a time. The condition isn't great. They've obviously been well used. This one's not bad. It's a little bit faded, but it's not bad. This one again, a little bit faded, and there is some marks on that one. Can you see? There. This one's lovely. How gorgeous is that? And then this one's a little bit faded. So I've done those at just a cheap price. I thought somebody would still like to use those, because again, they're better than just plain. Like a bit of colour, can't go wrong with flowers, all of that. And then finally, I've got this set of like coasters, and then a bigger coaster for the middle. They're like Bavarian ones. They're still in their original packaging, so they'd be like a holiday piece. But unfortunately, because they're still in their packaging, original packaging, they have marks on them from where the sellotape was holding them in place. Now, when you wash them, and those marks may come out, but I don't know, and I can't guarantee it. And then I don't want to wash them, and then, you know. So, again, I've done those fairly reasonable. But aren't they gorgeous? The colours are just stunning. I love those. So, yeah, I think that's everything today. Look at the state of my office, honestly. You wouldn't think that we'd got a conservatory full of stock for the booths, but yeah, there's a whole load more in here. I picked this up on, oh, creaking, Sunday, little chest of drawers. And again, I was wondering whether I could paint it with my acrylic paints. I might do that as a little project, because I fancy trying that. And I've got so many acrylics that are just sitting there, and they're going to dry out eventually, so I might just give it a go. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to round up the video because I just don't have enough space on my iPad to do the editing until I get my new camera. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. If you could leave me a thumbs up and a comment, it really does help all the algorithms. Thank you to Carla, Judy, June, Lisa, Roy, Heather and Lorraine, Mari, Jacqueline and Lindsay, who are all members on my channel. If you want to join the membership, it's £2.99 a month, and for that you get the videos a day early and the occasional members only video. And also thank you to Catherine, Heather and Jacqueline, who ordered on my website. I really do appreciate it. It's a big buzzy fly. It's always appreciated. Thank you so much for your support. Yeah, I will get a video out again soon. So in the meantime, take care, stay safe, and I will see you soon.